Praise for Plan B. Lester Brown tells us how to build a more just world and save the planet in a practical, straightforward way. We should all heed his advice. President Bill Clinton, a far-reaching thinker. U.S. News & World Report. It's exciting, a masterpiece. Ted Turner. In tackling a host of pressing issues in a single book, Plan B 2.0 makes for an eye-opening read. Times Higher Education Supplement. Lester Brown should receive a Nobel Peace Prize for his new book, The Herald Mexico, a great book which should wake up humankind. Klaus Schwab, World Economic Forum. Lester R. Brown, one of the world's preeminent eco-economists, has a solution for dealing with the threat. Plans must be periodically revised and refined, which Brown has done with insight and foresight in this volume. Ode. A highly readable and authoritative account of the problems we face, from global warming to shrinking water resources, fisheries, forests, etc. The picture is very frightening, but the book also provides a way forward. Clare Short, British Member of Parliament. Lester R. Brown gives concise, but very informative, summaries of what he regards as the key issues facing civilization as a consequence of the stress we put on our environment, a valuable contribution to the ongoing debate. The Ecologist. An enormous achievement, a comprehensive guide to what's going wrong with Earth's life support system, and how to fix it. Grinning Planet. Plan B has 3 parts. Restructuring the global economy, working to eradicate poverty and reversing environmental destruction. Tall orders, to be sure. But Plan B is here thoughtfully laid out to achieve the seeming impossible, and with an understanding of world trends and cultures too. The Midwest Book Review. The best big picture summary of our environmental situation, both the problems and the solutions I've ever read. Grist. Lester R. Brown offers an attractive 21st century alternative to the unacceptable business as usual path that we have been following with regard to the environment. Plan A, which is leading us to economic decline and collapse. Thomas F. Malone, American scientist. Brown's overall action plan is both comprehensive and compelling. Caroline Lucas, Resurgence. This book is an excellent update to the 2003 edition of Plan B, and a valuable resource for understanding the challenges facing all people on Earth. Highly recommended. S. J. Martin, Choice. A great book about ways to improve the environment and sustain economic progress. St. Petersburg Times. Plan B 3.0. Plan B 3.0. Mobilizing to Save Civilization. Lester R. Brown. Earth Policy Institute. W. W. Norton and Company, New York, London. Contents. Preface. Chapter 1. Entering a New World. A Massive Market Failure. Environment and Civilization. China. Why the existing economic model will fail. Mounting stresses. Failing states. A civilizational tipping point. Plan B, a plan of hope. Section I, Civilization in Trouble. Chapter 2. Deteriorating oil and food security. The coming decline of oil. The oil intensity of food. The changing food prospect. Cars and people compete for crops. The world beyond peak oil. Food insecurity in failing states. Chapter 3. Rising temperatures and rising seas. Rising temperature and its effects. The crop yield effect. Reservoirs in the sky. Melting ice and rising seas. More destructive storms. Cutting carbon 80% by 2020. Chapter 4. Emerging water shortages. Water tables falling. Rivers running dry. Takes disappearing. Farmers posing to cities. Scarcity crossing national borders. Water scarcity yields political stresses. Chapter 5. Natural systems under stress. Shrinking forests. The many costs. Posing soil. From grassland to desert. Advancing deserts. Collapsing fisheries. Disappearing plants and animals. Chapter 6. Early signs of decline. Our socially divided world. Health challenge growing. Throwaway economy in trouble. Population and resource conflicts. Environmental refugees on the rise. Mounting stresses. Failing states. Section 2. The Response Plan B. Chapter 7. Eradicating poverty. Stabilizing population. Universal basic education. Stabilizing population. Better health for all. curbing the HIV epidemic, reducing farm subsidies and debt, a poverty eradication budget. Chapter 8. Restoring the Earth, protecting and restoring forests, conserving and rebuilding soils, regenerating fisheries, protecting plant and animal diversity, planting trees to sequester carbon, the Earth Restoration Budget. Chapter 9. Feeding 8 billion well, rethinking TAN productivity, raising water productivity, producing protein more efficiently, moving down the food chain, action on many fronts. Chapter 10. Designing cities for people, the ecology of cities, redesigning urban transport, reducing urban water use, farming in the city, upgrading squatter settlements. Cities for people. Chapter 11. Raising energy efficiency, banning the bulb, energy efficient appliances, more efficient buildings, restructuring the transport system, a new materials economy, the energy savings potential. Chapter 12. Turning to renewable energy, harnessing the wind, wind-powered plug-in hybrid cars, solar cells and collectors, energy from the earth, plant-based sources of energy, river, tidal, and wave power. The World Energy Economy of 2020. Section 3. An exciting new option. Chapter 13. The Great Mobilization, shifting taxes and subsidies, summing up climate stabilization measures, a response to failing states, a wartime mobilization, mobilizing to save civilization, what you and I can do. Preface. When Elizabeth Colbert was interviewing energy analyst Amory Lovins for a profile piece in The New Yorker, she asked him about thinking outside the box. Lovins responded, "There is no box. There is no box." That is the spirit embodied in Plan B. Perhaps the most revealing difference between Plan B 2.0 and Plan B 3.0 is the change of the subtitle from Rescuing a Planet Under Stress and a Civilization in Trouble to simply Mobilizing to Save Civilization. The new subtitle better reflects both the scale of the challenge we face and the wartime speed of the response it calls for. The world is changing fast. When Plan B 2.0 went to press 2 years ago, the data on ice melting were worrying. Now they are scary. 2 years ago, we knew there were a number of failing states. Now we know that number is increasing each year. Failing states are an early sign of a failing civilization. 2 years ago there was early evidence that the potential for expanding oil production was much less than officially projected. Now, we know that peak oil could be on our doorstep. 2 years ago oil was $50 a barrel. As of this writing in late 2007, it is over $90 a barrel. In Plan B 2.0, we speculated that, if we continued to build ethanol distilleries to convert grain into fuel for cars, the price of grain would move up toward its oil equivalent value. Now that the United States has enough distilleries to convert 1/5 of its grain crop into fuel for cars, this is exactly what is happening. Corn prices have nearly doubled. Wheat prices have more than doubled. 2 years ago, we reported that in 5 of the last 6 years world grain production had fallen short of consumption. Now, it has done so in 7 of the past 8 years, and world grain stocks are dropping toward all-time lows. As the backlog of unresolved problems grows, including continuing rapid population growth, spreading water shortages, shrinking forests, eroding soils, and grasslands turning to desert, weaker governments are breaking down under the mounting stress. If we cannot reverse the trends that are driving states to failure, we will not be able to stop the growth in their numbers. Some of the newly emerging trends, such as the coming decline in world oil production, the new stresses from global warming, and rising food prices, could push even some of the stronger states to the breaking point. On the economic front, China has now overtaken the United States in consumption of most basic resources. By 2030, when its income per person is projected to match that in the United States today, China will be consuming twice as much paper as the world currently produces. If in 2030 the country's 1.46 billion people have 3 cars for every 4 people, US style, China will have 1.1 billion cars. And it will be consuming 98 million barrels of oil per day, well above current world production. The Western economic model, the fossil fuel-based, automobile-centered, Throwaway economy is not going to work for China. If it doesn't work for China, it won't work for India or the other 3 billion people in developing countries who are also dreaming the American dream. And in an increasingly integrated world economy, where we all depend on the same grain, oil, and steel, it will not work for industrial countries either. The challenge for our generation is to build a new economy, one that is powered largely by renewable sources of energy, that has a highly diversified transport system, and that reuses and recycles everything. And to do it with unprecedented speed. Continuing with business as usual, Plan A, which is destroying the economy's eco-supports and setting the stage for dangerous climate change, is no longer a viable option. It is time for Plan B. There are 4 overriding goals in Plan B 3.0. Stabilizing climate, stabilizing population, eradicating poverty, and restoring the Earth's ecosystems. At the heart of the Climate Stabilizing Initiative is a detailed plan to cut carbon dioxide emissions 80% by 2020, in order to hold the global temperature rise to a minimum. The climate initiative has 3 components: raising energy efficiency, developing renewable sources of energy, and expanding the Earth's forest cover, both by banning deforestation and by planting billions of trees to sequester carbon. We are in a race between tipping points in nature and our political systems. Can we phase out coal-fired power plants before the melting of the Greenland ice sheet becomes irreversible? Can we gather the political will to halt deforestation in the Amazon before its growing vulnerability to fire takes it to the point of no return? Can we help countries stabilize population before they become failing states? The United States appears to be approaching a political tipping point as opposition builds to the construction of new coal-fired power plants. A fast-spreading nationwide campaign has led several states, including California, Texas, Florida, Kansas, and Minnesota, to refuse construction permits or otherwise restrict construction. With this movement gaining momentum, it may be only a matter of time before it expands to embrace the phasing out of existing coal-fired power plants. The question is, will this happen soon enough to avoid dangerous climate change? In Plan B 2.0, we talked about the enormous potential of renewable sources of energy, especially wind power. Since then we've seen proposed projects to generate electricity from such resources on a scale never seen with fossil fuel power plants. For example, the state of Texas is coordinating a vast expansion of wind farms that will yield up to 23,000 megawatts of new electrical generating capacity, an amount equal to 23 coal-fired power plants. 2 years ago, the notion of plug-in gas-electric hybrid cars was little more than a concept. Today 5 leading automobile manufacturers are moving to market with plug-in hybrids, with the first ones expected in 2010. We have the technologies to restructure the world energy economy and stabilize climate. The challenge now is to build the political will to do so. Saving civilization is not a spectator sport. Each of us has a leading role to play. When we published the original Plan B 4 years ago, we noticed that some 600 individuals ordered a copy of the book, and then came back and ordered 5, 10, 20 or 50 copies for distribution to friends, colleagues, and political and opinion leaders. With Plan B 2.0, this number jumped to more than 1,500 individuals and organizations that were bulk buying and distributing the book. We call these distributors our Plan B team. Ted Turner, who distributed some 3,600 copies to heads of state, cabinet members, Fortune 500 CEOs, the US Congress, and the world's 672 other billionaires, was designated Plan B team captain. This book can be downloaded without charge from our website. Permission for reprinting or excerpting portions of the manuscript can be obtained from Roy Janice Kaufman at Earth Policy Institute. And finally, there is not anything sacred about Plan B. It is our best effort to lay out an alternative to business as usual, one that we hope will help save our civilization. If anyone can come up with a better plan, we will welcome it. The world needs the best plan possible. Lester R. Brown, October 2007. Earth Policy Institute, 1350 Connecticut Avenue Northwest, Suite 403, Washington, D.C. 20036.